WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany, often reviewing rare and exotic whiskeys. Not sure how rare and exotic the Overholt is, straight rye whiskey. Look, the word Kentucky's missing. Interesting. Monongahela Mash, the keystone of USA Rye, Overholt. Do you see the keystone here from the Keystone State, Pennsylvania? My birthplace, by the way. 1810 is the year that is constantly quoted here for this. Now, this belongs to the Beam Suntory, or the Suntory Global Spirits brand now. But it was originally founded in West Overton, Pennsylvania. Now, just a very, very brief moment here. So, the story of West Overton begins with Heinrich Oberholzer, that's how you pronounce his name in German, whose name was turned into Henry instead of Heinrich, Overholt instead of Oberholzer, and his wife and 12 children who immigrated to Jacobs Creek area of Westmoreland County, Pennsylvania in April of 1800. And they settled with other Mennonites in the area. I'm reading from westovertonvillage.org history. Now, very interesting. They first raised livestock. They constructed a spring house that is still on the property today. And they began distilling rye whiskey in a small two-still distillery, about 150 gallons. Now, Henry died in 1813, and his son Abraham, a master weaver, took over. He was an elder of the Mennonite church there and started distilling and created this company of rye whiskey distillation. And it became more and more a thing. Now, for the very first time, Beam Suntory, I'm going to still call them that, have created a website just for Overholt Rye. And if you go to the thing called Our Story, it says here, we survived numerous wars, economic cycles, consumer taste, and multiple prohibitions. Resilience shapes the future of American rye. And they talk about the 1810, Abe assumes the management of the Overholt family made rye whiskey at the West Overton farmstead, successfully transforming it into a thriving business. 1843. Overholt starts to grow and advertise in cities across the East Coast. 1843, national advertising, crazy, which was unusual for the time as branding didn't exist in mainstream media formats. 1881, Overholt remains in the family as ownership is acquired by Abe's grandson, Henry Clay Frick. And Henry brings on tycoon Andrew Mellon as his business partner. And in 1897, maybe we know that date from Bottle and Bond, Overholt becomes the first brand, the Federal Bottle and Bond Act, as a commitment here for quality. 1921, Andrew Mellon, now also Secretary of the Treasury, acquires medicinal license to keep Overholt's production legal, assuring its survival during Prohibition when other brands did not. 1870s. Overholt continues to innovate and expand internationally with its 1810 Sour Mash. And in the year 1987, Beam acquires Overholt as part of the National Distillers brand and relocates the production to Kentucky. So 180 years, basically, 177 years of production in Pennsylvania. And then it moves to Kentucky. 2017, though, Beam Suntory recognized what they have with this brand and started reviving and releasing heritage vintages, pushing development of rye into the future. And in the year 2023, Overholt partners with the West Overton Village to implement branded experience to restore the brand's heritage in Western PA. Interesting. There is a distillery there now, but it started 2020. I don't know if there's any cooperation. And to be very, very honest, I think the coolest thing that Suntory Global Spirits could do is take this brand and give it a home in Pennsylvania. Start a distillery in that town of West Overton and actually produce Monongahela style whiskey in the Monongahela area. I think that'd be so cool. I don't expect it to happen, but I do hope that it does one day. And also here we have the Monongahela Rye. It's a 4-year-old legacy liquid, as they call it. What am I going to compare it to? I'm going to compare it to something you go, Jason, what's this? It's 40%. Yes, it is. This is the pre-prohibition style rye from Jim Beam. Now, what does that mean? Absolutely nothing. It means we have Maryland style rye, which is basically rye, corn, and malted barley. And we have Monongahela style rye, which is basically no corn. And even on the website, they proudly say here for the 8A Overholt, they put down here rye 80%, malted barley 20%, corn 0. They actually write down the word corn 0 and they put a little, they cross it out. I mean, yay, that's what Monongahela is. So usually a ratio of 4 parts to 1 part. 1 part malted barley, 4 parts rye. Sometimes malted rye, but rye. I'm not sure if there's any malted rye in here. I think I tasted some of it in my German video, but hey, who knows? All right, and then if you want to be 100% true to these old Monongahela traditions, you should be using a 3-chamber still. The only place in the world that there's a 3-chamber still at the moment that I'm aware of is in Leopold Brothers, and that is in Colorado. They're the people that actually for the last 20 years have been pushing Maryland-style rye, Monongahela style rye, and they're in Colorado. Craziest thing in the world, but hey, that's that. All right, so let's try this. This is, I think, $44 in the States. So $40 in the States. It cost me 78 euros to get it over here. Packaging and postage is like 30 euros per bottle when I buy 6. When I buy 1, it's still 110. So it's better to buy 6 bottles in one package and send it over. And we have import, we have excise tax and import tax, basically the same. And we have alcohol tax that we have to pay on that. This, on the other hand, this is less than 20 euros over here. All right, so I found it for 15 euros, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 euros. Let's say under 20 euros. So I can get 2 of these for 1 of these in America. In Germany, I can get 4 of these for 1 of these. 40%, 47.5. Thank you for 47.5% ABV. So we have 95 proof. Excellent, excellent. This has a mash bill of around 51% rye. It's a secret. This has 80% rye. On the nose. Now, on the nose, this does not wow me. It's okay. I get rye, I get grain, I get a little bit of honey, I get a little bit of wood here. I get some baking spices, but I don't get any wow moments. It's good, it's good. It's a C plus maybe, even knows. It does let you hope that there's more to this whiskey than just this. Now this is sweeter, this is more approachable. If you have never had a rye in your life and you just want to try something, I would say New Riff Rye, 100% rye is one of the best out there. There's other things that are just fantastic. Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Rye, fantastic. Lot 40 Canadian Rye, fantastic, 100% rye. There are many, many products out there, but there's very few that are cheap as the Jim Beam Rye that gives you a little bit of a segue, a little bit of an entrance into the rye world. And it won't blow your mind, all right? If you're used to bourbon, this is like a high rye bourbon. Very, very nice. Let's try this. To separate it from the other Overholts. There have been, and I didn't even catch all of these. Over here in Germany, we have seen the bottle and bond Overholt. It was 3 times the normal price. I've never seen a 114 proof Overholt. That sounds very interesting, just like old granddad 114. And I've actually had it in my shopping cart, the 10-year-old Overholt. It's $100 plus. That means it's going to be about 180 euros by the time I bring it over here. And I just said, well, not this time. Instead, I bought this, and I wanted to try it. I like this. I like this a lot. Sláinte. Sorry. Cheers. The more I try this, the more I like it. There is a little bit of white pepper heat going on here. I think this would be much better at 6 years of age, and I think 7 to 8 years of age, this is going to be an awesome whiskey. But it's got so much potential. This is a B minus C plus whiskey for me, despite a little bit of that heat, a little bit of that white pepper there on the taste. It's a lot of rye. It's a little bit of a graham cracker, like a whole grain graham cracker. Breaking Bourbon wrote down peanut brittle. I don't disagree with that. I've had peanut brittle that's totally sweet, and I've had peanut brittle like my grandma used to make it that was not sweet. And so it's a little bit like not sweet peanut brittle. Rye bread. And it's just, you want to reach and try and do it again. It's got a great finish. It lasts. That rye spice is there. For $40, people, please, if you like rye even a little bit, buy this. Try this. This is so unique. This is a great whiskey, and I can highly recommend it. So, once again, the last question is, what is your favorite rye without any corn in it? Thank you very much for watching, liking, subscribing, and telling others. And try a Overholt if you have not yet, and if you're a rye lover. Bye-bye.